Racha Nasreddine is the country director of the Right To Play organisation in Lebanon. She joins us live from Beirut. So we talked about a steadily increasing number of child casualties just since Monday. The UN very much sounding the alarm that if this carries on any more, if there's any further escalation in the violence, it will be children that will continue to bear the brunt.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the numbers are, we're facing a disaster when it comes to children. Numbers are huge of children affected, those who have lost their lives, but also those who are displaced. Up till now, we do not have any official figures of the numbers of children who are affected and displaced. But I can tell you, like, anecdotally, speaking to one of our partners last night, they were saying, like, on the streets of Saida, almost on every corner, there is a family with a lot of children sitting on every corner, waiting for a shelter, waiting for access to food and basic needs. So this is a huge disaster we are facing, and as usual, children are the most affected. In addition, of course, to their parents. So we're facing, I think, multiple crises when it comes to children. We are seeing a lot of mental health impact on their mental health and well-being. A lot of impact, of course. This is coming at the beginning of a scholastic year, so all schools now are closed. No access to education. In Beirut, you can see it when you travel on a daily basis. Like, there are people on the streets sitting and waiting for support with their children. So I don't know to what extent these children can still endure what was happening. Also to note that this is coming after 1 year since last October. Children have been suffering from a lot due to the continuous attacks since last October, but also they have been facing the impact of the economic and social crisis that Lebanon has been going through. So it's a lot. It's a crisis at multiple levels and requires a lot of efforts to be able to respond to the huge needs.
As you said very clearly, Lebanon is a country that's been through multiple crises in recent years, not to mention, of course, the 2006 war conflict that's going back decades before that, the impact of the war in Syria, the colossal bomb explosion, rather, at the port in Beirut back in 2020. Not to mention the economic collapse in the country. I want to ask you specifically about the huge number of Syrian refugees, many of them children that came over into the country seeking sanctuary and safety. Clearly, these children will be once again at risk.
Yes, indeed. I think not only Syrians. I think, Lebanon also hosts Palestinian refugees. And these have been also through multiple displacements, Syrians as well. I think these children endure more and more through time. We are seeing, unfortunately, also from as an NGO working on the ground, we have seen reports of some sort of also discrimination, like some Syrian children are not, for example, sometimes allowed into specific shelters. But luckily, there are also organizations that are working for designated shelters for Syrian refugees. But I would say, with Syrian refugees and Palestinian refugees, I think the impact is more and more because of the multiple displacement that they have been throughout the past years or decades even.
It is a hugely challenging time for everybody in Lebanon at the moment, but especially its young. Racha Nasreddine, country director of the Right to Play. Many thanks for joining us on Al Jazeera.